Good morning, everyone. So, yesterday we discussed the prophetic significance of the menorah, which is also the symbol of the eternity of the light of the people of Israel. There's so many references in the Bible, in the Tanakh, in words of the sages, and also any historical artifacts from ancient times until today contain the symbol of the menorah. And as I explained yesterday, that really refers also, let's say, what the prophets say, where darkness covers the earth and mists of cruelty and evil, and really the darkest aspects of man's history are reflected amongst the nations of the world. Hashem, but upon you, the light of Hashem shines. This shines upon the remnant of the people of Israel, and it's a really almost terrified situation where the representative of Iran, now we're in the month of Purim, where the evil of Haman is rising again, he said, if Israel dares to make any attack against Iran, then it will take 10 minutes for Iran to destroy Tel Aviv. It's headlines of today. And unfortunately, the Western world is not sufficiently aware of the enormous threats. The combination on the one hand of Iran, the other hand of Daesh, who yesterday in a cruel manner murdered 21 innocent people who they managed to catch hold of. So the situation indeed is very dark. And the early salvation lies, I want to go back to it, one of the aspects of the 7 branches of menorah are the 7, we explained yesterday, the significant 7 aspects of the light of the universal code for all mankind, which is being neglected. So yesterday I gave a very touched upon a deep exposition of the Shloah Kodesh, of the whole aspect of the menorah, and how it is testimony that the divine presence rests amongst the people of Israel. So I also want to bring you here, which I already mentioned early in the week on Shabbos, but I think it's worthwhile mentioning for the wider public. We know Horovitz, before he died, he predicted the Holocaust, bring the Holocaust. He was, you know, today the menorah represents also the principle that when there's no prophecy left, that the greatest sages, through their enormous wisdom of Torah, they're able also, it says, they're able to foresee the future. And God spoke that we live in the era when the Mashiach is waiting for us to do Teshuvah. And he's also come in dreams to some of his disciples. I heard it from some of the older people themselves. They were surprised. It appeared to them in a dream and told them that we'll have to get ready to do Teshuvah, but the Mashiach is waiting for it. Hashem is waiting for it. So there's yet the following description of the son of the Horovitz, but also in his last days, when he said the following. Because we read in the Pasha that Miksha Teaseh HaMenorah, Moshe Rabbeinu found it impossible to have a clear plan of how to produce this golden candelabrum made from one piece, one golden block, and to go and produce it with all its extra goblets and blossoms, until Hashem told him, just throw the block of gold in the fire and then it'll come out by itself. Theo said, it'll produce by itself. What does this mean? So in the light of actually it's already hinted at in the words of the Shloh, which I've quoted yesterday, which goes back to the Zohar and the Midrashim. But he puts it this way, he says, all the other vessels, I'm quoting now directly from the report of his son, what he heard from his father in his last days. Of all the vessels which were in the sanctuary, Moshe was able to produce them. When he came to the menorah, he could. 3 times Hashem showed him how to do it. Nevertheless, Moshe found it difficult. Miksha was so difficult, he couldn't do it. Until Hashem said to him, throw the gold right into the fire and it'll be produced by itself. So Rashi brings it. He says it's very difficult. Why is the menorah so different to all the other vessels of the Beit HaMikdash that Moshe couldn't do? So my father said like this, the commentators of the Torah and the masters of Agadah and the Malbim is that's the greatest expert on the Tanakh from the last few hundred years. I mean, he takes notes. The previous commentator that goes into it extremely thoroughly with the detailed analysis of the Hebrew of the Bible. Now, so in his commentary, the hints of the Mishkan, they all of them say that all the vessels of the sanctuary and up to the temple, they hint at very deep matters. By the way, when they found recently the private documents of Isaac Newton, who was a great scientist and a great mathematician, everything, so he also he studied Hebrew well and studied also commentators, and he had his own also analysis of many aspects of the measurements and so on of the sanctuary, which all hint at deep, high principle. So anyway, they say the Ark of the Covenant, this hints at the divine wisdom that the human being can't reach except through prophecy. The table with the showbread is a hint for material life of the nation of Israel, 12 tribes. And the Mizbeach, the altar, is the way in which the people of Israel become bound up with the Holy and Blessed be He. The menorah is the constant light of our nation, and it hints at the eternal existence of the people of Israel. And according to the words of the Zohar, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, blessed be He asked the angels to go and make a menorah up in the heavens, and to establish it to be parallel to the menorah in the sanctuary and in the temple. And at the time when the Kohen would kindle the lights of the menorah below, then the heavenly menorah would be kindled above, the spiritual one. And this is the light which brings light in the path of the life of the people of Israel. Therefore, Hashem said to Moshe, please make the menorah the constant light which demonstrates the eternal existence of the people of Israel, Am Yisrael Chai. Moshe, with the power of prophecy, he foresaw that there are going to be so many long periods of complete darkness, also for the people of Israel. And millions of our brothers in all the lands where they're scattered will be killed in the most cruel manner, as happened in the time of the Babylonians and then afterwards the Romans, and later on the Nazis, and the communists. Terrible. They would be killed with all forms of cruel death. And people of Israel will say, well, who says there's going to be a redemption? It doesn't look like it. We're attacked from all sides. So then Moshe found it very difficult. And I'd like to add something to this. Immediately, just think what's happening here. The most powerful nation in the world today is America. And the President of America, when he speaks about the cruelties that go on today, which come from primarily from the distortion of Islam. So he says, well, there were the Middle Ages, there were the Christian Crusaders, there was the Inquisition, so it's widespread. And he goes and quotes what happened in the Dark Middle Ages. Well, it's true in a way that the Nazis, they went to the highest extent of cruelty and evil ever imaginable in human history. No question. And today the Nazi spirit is starting again. But who are the main partners? Even at the time of the Nazis, we know the Mufti of Jerusalem was a solid partner together with Hitler, Yimach Shemo. In fact, it's he who made up the specific manifesto that every Jew in the world has to be destroyed entirely. And he was the one who built death camps here in Palestine. That was the whole plan of Hitler. He thought he was going to, he even gave priority to Rommel and the Second Army, his strongest army, who should have been really from a simple military angle, helping the Eastern Front against the Russians where the Germans were retreating. But he said more important, and that's the Mufti influence, more important, let Rommel go all the way around North Africa and Egypt and let him go to Sinai, and then from there he must go and take over from the British. British had a mandate at the time of Palestine. He's got to conquer the British, and then he had all the Jews who were in Palestine registered for the death camps. That was more important for him. It's true that was his failure. Yes, because Baruch Hashem, in a miraculous way, he saved all the Jews in Palestine. So we well know there's certain great miracles. But we see that this was terrible. But for the President of America to go back in history and talk like this, it's as though man has not learned from history, even from the terrible Shoah, from the terrible Holocaust. And they're allowing it to spread. These goes and says the fact that Islam is also adopting the Nazi code even in a worse manner in some ways. So it's a very serious situation we're faced with. And since the Gaon of Vilna, we have a tradition that, the Melchemet Gog and Magog, he says the last one will only take 10 minutes. It's the words in the Vilna Gaon. Tradition going right back to the time of Rosh and the Vilna Gaon himself. The last war of Gog and Magog, and Gog and Magog was 70, the matter of 70 nations against the people of Israel. It only lasts 10 minutes. So, for this to come up today, where did you get the 10 minutes from? So let's hope, as it says in the Chumash, I just want to say the remark of this representative of Iran, at the same time there's the negotiations carrying on of not increasing the sanctions and to permit Iran to hasten with their program. And it's gone so far that Saudi Arabia and other nations, they say it's extremely important to stop Iran from having nuclear weapons, because we'll have to do it as well. They've already bought, Saudi Arabia already bought atom bombs from Pakistan. Pakistan have got nuclear and atomic weapons. So they already bought from them, but they haven't brought them to their country, because they prefer the Middle East not to go to a non-conventional arms race. There's already an arms race on chemical weapons, which have killed already hundreds of thousands, primarily Muslims. So they have many of the Muslim nations, they're alarmed at this. How can the President of America look at it as though it's, oh, you know, there's always been cruelty from other countries, this is just cruel people. It even went to the extent, I mean, to twist the situation to say that the attack on the Jewish supermarket in Paris was just a few hooligans, you know, it wasn't as though it was Islamic terror, no. I mean, how can, and these statements allowed to go along. So people are surprised that Netanyahu, who knows what's going on inside more than we do, that he wants to stop it. And every day is important. Why? Because the Americans, Obama is trying to go and sort out the agreements with Iran, you see, before as soon as possible. Why does he want to do it as soon as possible? Because they're afraid maybe Netanyahu might influence some of the Americans to vote against his policy. This is what lies behind it. So, of course, Hashem is leading the world, but what's happening today is so critical. And what can save the people is really not diplomacy and it's not weapons. But whatever the reason why the others want to have weapons, because they know underneath, and that's what's kept the Arabs back a bit, that we also have them. We've got them, but we don't make a business out of it. We don't want to use them. We only want to use it as a means of stopping the others, and most of the Arab nations know that. Israel, they're going to keep to things on a moral basis. But you get these Meshugoyim, like Iran, and like the Daesh, if they're going to have non-conventional weapons, what's going to happen to the whole world? And the truth is that the Holocaust, which came from the people of Israel, is a warning from Hashem of what they call today, not genocide of a certain race, but they call it homicide of the whole of mankind. What can happen? As is described in some of the prophets. If the nations don't take notice, who knows what can happen to this world? But we have the promise. This is the only way you can explain the last words of the last prophet, who says, I'm going to send Eliyahu Navi to promote the movement of Teshuvah. Penavo v'keisi et kol haaretz cheru, lest I come and bring total destruction upon the world. The last words of the last prophet. And we know we've got a principle, there's no prophet who prophesies with a note of doom. That's why when that Mafta is read, and we read in Shabbos HaGodel, before Pesach, we don't stop with that last verse, we read the previous verse. Yeah? That Eliyahu will come, there'll be Teshuvah. Because the word pen means it shouldn't happen. But it means, in the time when the only alternative to the survival of mankind seems the movement of mankind has to change. That's what it says. If it don't change, then we're at doomsday. Even although all the scientific and political works to deal with the question of the future of mankind, they say they're all afraid of the doomsday. When mankind is finished, and life on this planet is being finished by mankind themselves. But it says in the prophets, it can be stopped. How? Through movement of Teshuvah. I'm just saying this as a side remark. I want to carry now what the Horovitz went on saying. So Moshe, to explain what's the idea of the menorah being so difficult. So he says, since the menorah represents the light of the people of Israel, and there might come times when the world, even people of Israel, seems extremely dark, and there's no hope for the future, as many thought in the Holocaust. As you know, there's a certain survivor of the Warsaw Ghetto. And you read his story. How did he survive? Well, the Nazis were raking out every Jew they could find, killing him, set in the gas chamber. He survived by living in the underground sewage system of Warsaw. That's where for 6 months. And he survived in the most grotesque manner. I won't tell you what he lived on, you know, with the sewage. That's how he was able to survive. He came out of the sewage after, because he thought he was the only Jew left in the world. Because that's what the Nazis told me, the only Jews. All the Jews are being killed everywhere. And they told all the Jews who were there, you know, there's no hope, nothing. you're being exterminated. You know, you are the scum of the earth. You're just like bacteria that have to be destroyed. And that's why they destroyed the Jews. And this Jew felt it's really happening, because as we see all the others, they were thrown into the gas chambers, the mass killings one day after the other. It's going on all the time, all over the world. So there's nothing left. And he felt, I'm still a Jew. So I've got to keep myself going. Maybe I'm the only Jew in the world. And that kept, the fact that he felt the only Jew in the world kept him going. He was able to survive. So, but Moshe Rabbeinu saw this happening. He said, so therefore really, he is asking a question. He says, I see, what I see about the future light of the people of Israel, I see one generation after the next, long period of dam ba'esh v'timrut ashan. As it says, blood and fire and smoking ovens. That's what I see, smoking ovens. That's the end of the people of Israel. And really this is mentioned already, when the smoking oven mentioned first. Is it the first mention of the Holocaust? Where is it? To whom? Avraham Avinu. The first vision of Avraham Avinu, called in the authorized English ancient version, St. James version, is called there the Holocaust. Holocaust means cutting into pieces. But the Brit Ben was cutting the animals into pieces. You won't go into detail. But there it says that he saw how a pillar of fire and a smoking oven passed between the pieces. What's the smoking oven? What's the pillar of fire? That's the crematoriums, and that is the gas chambers. Smoking oven. That's what it was. Crematorium.
He was thrown into it.
Huh? And the sages say in the Midrash, what does it refer to? Shibud ha'umot, the way in which the nation, the world, will persecute the Jews. That's part of the covenant. So Moshe Rabbeinu saw this as well. So he said, what do you mean that the people of Israel are light to the world? Today are the people of Israel light to the world? Anyone looks at them as being the light to the world? We find the nations, more and more of them, they're just saying the opposite. All right, but we're very happy that there are how many 1,000 Muslims. They got together. There is still a voice around. There's still a spark to hope for. That they, in Oslo, we know Oslo was the agreement between so-called agreement with Palestinians. You know, Arafat and Rabin. So I'll tell you Oslo. I'll tell you what I heard at the time. One of my guest speakers at our dinner was the Minister of Interior. He was the Talmud Chacham, Dr. Yosef Boruch. So he was the one who did not agree. He did not agree to the Oslo Agreement. And you know, there's no debate, did not agree to it. We're going to go to all the history of it. But he, at our dinner, he said like this. He was against the Oslo Agreement. Because he knew that Arafat really, he spoke about peace. He got the Peace Prize, the Nobel Prize, fantastic for efforts for peace. But what did he say to his own constituents? He said we need 1 million suicide bombers to march on Jerusalem and take it by force. So he spoke. So he was a double talk, you know. And that explains why even until today we find our peace partner, but the peace partners made an agreement with Hamas. With Hamas mean violence. Yeah? Hamas are they're willing to kill innocent Muslims in order to be able to kill more Jews. So we're in a difficult situation. So how can Moshe Rabbeinu say what's happening? What's happening to the world? Even in Israel. So Kodesh Boruch said, throw the gold into the fire and the menorah will be produced by itself. Now what does that mean? Because Hashem judges the world not in the way that we do. In times of fire, which means in times of great persecution, evil. So according to the human approach, it's just filled with killings and destruction, and we don't see any solution to it. But then the sun of the people of Israel begin to shine. And from these terrible periods will come the redemption of the people of Israel. And it will not come not through the power that the people of Israel possess. I mean, not to their army, not to their diplomacy. It will not come to loving kindness from the nations. As it says in the prophets, that they, the nations, they will destroy the people of Israel and everything holy unto us with fire. But Hashem will rebuild it through fire. And who is the one who can save the people of Israel? Only Hashem. At the time when all the nations fall upon the people of Israel, like a lion falls on his prey to destroy us from the land of the living, and then, as time said, so we have to kindle the menorah of the Torah below in order to hope for the divine Torah from above. That applies specifically to our time. So this is a very important message from Horovitz for today. It really, the basis of it is already found in what I said yesterday from the Shlok. This is nearer to our time. So this is the lesson we have to learn. It's kindling. So that we shouldn't be surprised that the Gedolei Torah of today, I wonder if it's possible to stop clearing the table when I'm giving a talk. It's more respectful. Okay. And it's able also people to hear it more easily. And if you're interested, just to please do it afterwards.
It's disgusting, that's all. And you can't. How can you learn Torah if it's very...
Excuse me, either keep quiet, yeah? Can you please do the favor to show respect to the Shia? And because the Shia here, it's broadcast all over the world, and they hear all this noise going on. Okay? If you're not interested, you don't have to be here. I don't mind if you're not here, but I do mind if you disturb me. Or anybody. Don't disturb the Shia. Have a minimum of respect. Not because of my words, the words of the Horovitz, they're a very important message for the whole world, right? So,
I just wanted to explain why.
Please. Any discussion, drink afterwards. When we finish here, we will call. Yeah. Okay. So this is Al Derech Eretz Kadma Torah. In order to have Torah, you have to have also respect. Very important. Now, so I would say this is the most important teaching. And if you have any questions, Yes.
I saw in the Amidah,
Yes.
in Sidur, which is the bracha from Bonei Yerushalayim.
Yes.
Actually, they say, this was a Sephardi Sidur, they say we should mitkaven on Mashiach ben Yosef, who should not fall in a war for Yerushalayim against Armilos. And I don't know who is this.
Okay, this is a deep esoteric subject which needs a few shiurim.
Oh. Okay.
Meanwhile, what's the concept of Mashiach ben Yosef? It's all connected with the split between Yosef and the brothers, and after the split between the lost 10 tribes, who were led by Yosef in some ways, or by the descendants of Yosef, and split away from the people of Israel. And when the Mashiach comes, then the lost 10 tribes will somehow, in some manner, return to us, as we see happening today in certain ways. Halachically speaking, even those who have preserved certain Jewish customs from ancient times, from the time of Sancheriv until today, but halachically they have become absorbed amongst the nations of the world. When the Mashiach comes, we'll have a return of the remnants of those 10 tribes that go through proper halachic gevut, and they'll come back to the people of Israel, as we see happening today. Any other questions?